David, let me bring you into the conversation. You wrote yesterday, quote, arming rebels takes this to an entirely new level. What did you mean by that statement?
Well, I mean, if you look at what the UN resolution says, the thin reed that they're hanging, the idea that it allows for arming rebels or any of the other provocations, is that they will use all necessary means to protect civilians. And that's, frankly, doing so much work, that phrase, that it should go on strike for overtime. I mean, the idea that this was a limited mission is what the American public supports. In the most recent poll today in Quinnipiac, they support a limited mission protecting civilians in Libya. I think if you extend that to then, now we're doing close air support, we're supporting one side in a civil war with armaments. You can't just UPS the armaments. You're going to have to teach the rebels how to use them, and that could include trainers. And then you've just gone on to an entire mission creep where, and who knows where that ends.
Well, I'm sure you've read the article that talks about the reasons why and not to go in. And Foreign Policy's Blake Hausner recommends a couple of things on this list. And he says, listen, these opposition rebels will probably get weapons anyway, perhaps even from places like Egypt. And if the West does assist the rebels by arming them with light armor, light weapons, for example, that we have more influence. We're already in this, and obviously we have the great debate of what the end game is, but we're seeing for the second straight day, David, these rebels retreat. The U.S. is involved in this. Why not finish out and help them reach their goal, which is obviously a regime change, despite the fact the president says that that is not the goal of the military action happening right now?
Yeah, I think the fact that the rebels are in retreat for a second day shows you that even escalating this to, close air support isn't going to do the job. And as far as whether or not they're going to get arms anyway, I can just go back to the American track record of arming insurgencies. And it's not very good. Robert Gates knows well from his experience in the CIA that when he armed or helped to arm the Afghan rebels to try to get the Soviets out, that didn't end well for us. And I just don't think we know enough about this opposition, which is, I think, substantially different than the opposition that was in peaceful protests throughout the Arab world, to make that assessment that we're going to provide armaments and then possibly trainers to deal with the situation.